I've got 4 more days until my 20th birthday, and I even got my nails done in advance just because during the school year and during the weekdays I'm super busy, and so it's Labor Day, the long weekend, and this is the only time that I had to actually go get my nails done. And I even got this little fake diamond thing on my middle finger, and I think it's kind of the aesthetics. But anyways, since it's almost my birthday, I'm getting a lot of birthday anxiety again, just like every year, but I feel like this year it just feels a little extra terrifying just because I've been a teenager for like how many years? Like around 7 years now. And I kind of got used to being a teenager, and I felt kind of nice. I felt like my age when I'm a teenager, and it feels like I can avoid a lot of responsibilities, and I just don't need to be responsible for everything in a way. It's just because you feel like your mistakes are more tolerable, and there's still a lot of things that are taken care of by your family, by educational institutions, and society just understand that you're not a fully grown adult yet. Even after 18, I was so scared of my 18th birthday, but after that, it just felt like being 18 or 19 was a very comfortable age to be in. But now that I'm turning 20, things just feel a lot heavier because I don't know, like people say that the 20s should be the time of your life and you should do everything during that time because after your 20s, once you enter your 30s, that's when you're gonna get married, have kids, and that's when your body starts deteriorating. And I think there's some truth to it. Like, personally, I do think that once I turn 30, the mentality is gonna be so different than right now and throughout my 20s. But I just don't feel ready whatsoever. And I know that as teenagers, we never feel ready to turn 20 and to be in our 20s and feel like we have to live up to the expectations that we had for these prime years. But I also just thought about the idea of time dilution, or at least I think that's how you say it, because someone in one of my YouTube videos commented that when you were around 5 years old, every single year felt so long since your lived experience has only been like 5 times 1 year. But now that you get to 15 or 18 or 20, now every year is 1 over 15th of your entire life or 1 over 20 of your entire life. And so time just dilutes year by year, and it's only gonna feel like it's going faster for that reason. But I am just so not ready for my 20th birthday for many different reasons. And even when you're reaching out to someone professionally, it feels like if you say that you're 17 or 18 or 19, which is what I've done all along, people just felt like they were willing to help you since they think that you're a young person and you're a teen, and if you do something extraordinary and if you have accomplishments, it's not something that's expected, and it's something that makes you outstanding. But after you turn 20 and when you say I'm 21 or I'm 23 and I've done XYZ, it feels like everything is expected because you're expected to be successful and be accomplished. I just don't feel personally accomplished and successful whatsoever, yet I'm turning 20 and I look around, there's a lot of people who've turned 20 and now they're successful, they're rich, they're wealthy, they have multiple businesses and they've built an entire life for themselves, or they're buying their own property, they have their own car. And here I am turning 20 without my actual driver's license. I only have G1 in Canada. I'm learning how to drive though, but that's beside the point. I see a lot of friends who are already in their 20s because most of my friends are slightly older than me, and I just think that they're also just living their best life, but it doesn't feel like I'm nearly ready to do that yet because I think mentally I feel really young still, and I think a lot of the times I'm immature, although everyone likes to think that they're mature and they're all grown up. Once I surround myself with people who are a few years older or who are actually in their mid 20s, I can visibly see the mental differences and how our state of mind is so different, how they have so much more lived experience than I do. And I look up to a lot of creators and a lot of businesswomen who are in their 20s or even in their 30s, and for like 2 or 3 years at least, I've been just thinking to myself, wow, I want to be like them once I get to their age. But now I'm turning 20, and oh my god, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of time before I actually get to their age. And what if by then I haven't done anything for myself? What if I haven't built a life? What if I'm still barely trying to get by to afford my own rent? What if I'm not saving up enough? What if I'm just struggling to become financially independent? What if I don't? There's all these what ifs, and man, I think this time just makes me have all these doubts and anxiety, and I think they're all pretty realistic problems because I've also seen people who are 24 and 25, and not that it's wrong, but they still don't know themselves whatsoever, and it still feels like they're just trying to get to know about their own personality and what they want and their desires. But it's so easy to get caught up in the rat race and just understand that being in the rat race is what you want, and not being able to live up to that, because I think there's a lot of what's expected from people once they turn 20. Like, you are expected to have a degree by 22, and then you're expected to get your life together by 23, and then by like 26 or 27, once you explore around your career a little bit, you're expected to actually settle in one of the career directions that you're in and then go down that path. And by the time you're 30, you're expected to get married and then have kids right away. There's so many expectations, and I just feel like it's a ticking time bomb. There's only gonna be less time from now on, and even though every year is still a lot of time, I just have a lot of self-doubts in terms of, can I actually do that for myself? Can I actually live out the life that I want? And I always imagined what I would be like once I turn 20, because it just feels like such a big age, and it feels like the age where you start to get all the freedom you want. It just feels like there's so much to expect, and there's so much that we should be achieving and getting once we're 20, but it feels like I'm not even half of that yet. And I'm probably gonna feel like this every year from now on. And although I felt like that before, even I vividly remember turning 15 and 16 and 17, I feel unaccomplished every year, but at least I knew that I was still a teenager, and at least there's still this room and this space and this time to discover. And whenever something goes wrong, you tell yourself, oh, well, I'm a teenager anyways, and teenagers make a lot of mistakes. Teenagers don't know what they want. Teenagers are always exploring. And I think now more and more creators are starting to speak up about their experiences in their 20s, and it's not so different. We're still just human beings trying to learn and discover more about ourselves throughout time, and like self-discovery is probably never gonna end, but it just feels like you need your life a little bit more put together once you turn 20. And I've had all these imaginations and inspirations of, oh, I want to develop a perfect style once I'm 20. By that time, I must have the perfect hair. I must know what I want for the next decade, and I must know like how many kids I want, what type of family I want, when I want to get married, and having a dream body once you turn 20, because oh, it's like the best time of your life. So if you don't have the perfect body you always wanted, like, what are you even doing? And for context, I don't. So there's that. It's not the end of the world, right? Like, we turn 20, we keep on living. We turn 21, we keep on living. We turn 61, we keep on living. I was just calling a friend yesterday, and I was telling her about all this anxiety, and she just told me, hey, I know you're nervous, but at the end of the day, it's just a number, and you're gonna continue living the same way regardless of your age, and you're still gonna be the same you. You're not gonna be a different person. But even just leading up to this point, I was starting to mentally prepare myself, like, I guess for my 20s a few months ago. And so I started to go to the gym more. I started eating healthy, because I'm like, I'm almost 20 and I'm still not the image that I always imagined myself to be, so you better get there. And I tried, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll learn how to do a pull-up before 20. And I actually tried, but I did not achieve that, and I'm still going to the gym, still lifting all those weights, still trying to find balance in my life and find a way to manage my time and live the way that I want to live. And I'm still constantly experiencing all these trial and errors and making mistakes and apologizing to people, meeting new people, cutting off some people who I don't think resonate with me. It's always a work in progress. Like, I don't think 20 will be the time where anything's figured out or everything's figured out. Neither will 25 be the time where I have my entire life together, because at all points in our lives we'll always be doing something, and throughout time, throughout your life stages, these challenges change, your focus changes, your priorities change, but one thing that's constant is that we're always going to have people and we're always going to have things that fulfill us, but so will we always have pain points that will and obstacles that'll bother us for that time being. I don't even know what to think, because I'm just so close to turning 20 and it's going to flash right before my eyes, and the next time I'm making one of these videos I'll be turning 23, and I just hope that the future Lena accomplishes most of the things that she wants, and I hope that she's happy, I hope that she's fulfilled. Feels like I've been working to get to that point, and I'm getting a little bit closer every day, even through all the mistakes I made and even through all the pains and challenges. But I know I'm starting to go in circles now, but hey, 20 is a good age. I have plenty of people who are 20 years old, they're cool as fuck. I have a lot of friends in their mid-20s and their late 20s, they're all cool as fuck. And I just wish that I can be my own version of the cool as fuck Elena. If you guys have any suggestions for someone who's turning 20, and if you're above that age and you have something that you want to tell your younger self, please leave it down in the comments so I can see what your guys' thoughts are. And also other people who are about to turn 20 or have a similar sort of anxiety can also see how other people are dealing with them, and looking back on this age, what other people would have wished for themselves. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.